Well, hello there, my friends. It's Jen Pitta with By the Shore Stamping. I haven't seen you in a while, it seems, after my 12 days of inspiration for the new fall catalog. I am back for our regularly scheduled programming with Teach Me Tuesday. And today I'm going to share a sort of outside of the comfort zone card for me. This is totally not my usual style, but I knew what I wanted to do for a technique, and this is what happened. So I'm going to show you two different ways to use embossing paste. Which is one of our new products in the annual catalog this year. And there was a little tip in the holiday catalog about using it for snow on your projects. So I demoed this in one of the Facebook Live videos I did last week at our end of Fall for Inspiration countdown. However, when I did it, it was sideways, so I thought it warranted trying this again, and so I designed a new card, which also uses the embossing paste in the traditional manner, because I've gotten much better at it since the first time I showed that, so I thought I would do both. So first up, I'm going to start with the background of the card, which is the traditional way to use embossing paste. So I'm using the bricks template that we have in our templates pack, and I will link the product in the description below. I'm just securing it here with some washi tape on all four sides, and then I am going to take, because I wanted a little bit of color, I am going to take my silicone mat, and because I actually don't have the re-inker for the green, I'm going to use my ink pad as my little re-inker. So on my silicone mat, I'm going to just go ahead and do a little blob, which now you can see the ink on my silicone craft sheet. I don't want it to be as dark as it came out the last time, so I am going to kind of blot this a little bit and get rid of some of this excess ink. And because I want it to be kind of light, so I'm just going to kind of blot that quite a bit. And then I'm going to take my embossing paste, and I'm going to take my little palette knife here, and I'm just going to dig in there and grab just a little bit. I don't need a lot. And I'm going to plop that on my mat. And you can see the green is coming off now already. Before I start mixing, I'm going to go ahead and put the cover back on this because it does dry super fast. And then I'm just going to kind of take this and mix it in, so I can get a nice light green background. And again, I didn't do too much of it. Just wanted a little bit of a pop of color under there. So that looks like it's pretty well mixed. So I'm going to scoop it all up here. The beauty is it comes off the silicone mat pretty easily. You do want to, wash it relatively quickly, but it'll be fine in the time that I'm doing this video and probably for a few minutes after that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to take my embossing paste, and I'm going to go ahead and just sort of rub it down the page here. You want to kind of work in one direction, and I'm just kind of filling in some of those little spots here. Make sure it's nice and even. That looks pretty good. I'm going to put my sentiment over here, or my featured part over here, so that will be good. So, and I've got a little bit of excess here, so I'm going to put it down the bottom so I can spread that out a little bit. Perfect. All right, now I'm going to carefully pick up this template. You want to be careful not to move it too much. So now you can see I've got the edges here. There's some that are kind of straight lines, so I'm just going to pull that off. Don't need that. There we go. And then I'm just going to set this aside to dry while we do the rest. So I did already stamp, oh goodness, stamp the Lovely as a Tree image from, or the Christmas tree image from Lovely as a Tree, which is an older set. It's been around forever that I love. I used the garden green ink, and now I'm going to take the embossing paste again, but this time I'm going to use my smaller little pointed tool, and I'm just going to grab a little tiny bit, and I'm going to actually just blob it onto my tree so it looks like snow. And you can kind of do varying amounts, so like some big blobs and some little blobs. Whoops. It's pretty forgiving, so you don't have to worry about it too much. I'm just going to take little bits here and there. Maybe a tiny bit more. Just stick that here and there. That looks pretty good. Go ahead again, put the cover on that. This time I'm going to heat set this. What's cool about this is I'm going to use the highest setting, and when I heat set it, I mean, you could obviously just let it dry, but I like to let it heat set because what happens is it starts to bubble. It makes like little, it looks like little creatures that are alive. They kind of bubble up, and so you know that's when it's kind of done. But it still gives you a little bit of pliability so that you can actually, you know, kind of shape it a little bit while it's still hot, and then it will dry hard. So let's go ahead and heat set this. It does take a few minutes with the heat gun to get it to move, and I'm not really sure if you'll be able to see that on the video or not, but you'll have to trust me. You will be able to see it when you do it for yourself, though. So I'm just going to let this kind of sit in one spot for a minute till I start to see the, oh, you can kind of see it right there. It starts to kind of bubble and pop almost. So they're doing that down there. So I'm going to go up here, get them all heated. Looks pretty good. It doesn't take very long. And now, because some of these are kind of pointy, I'm just going to kind of push them down a little bit, mold them a little so they don't look so odd. Kind of do that. And on the sample I did last week, we actually added some glitter, which you would do before you emboss. This was the card I did on Facebook Live last week at the culmination of my 12 days of holiday countdown. So I actually added, I don't know if you can see that, I added a spritz of, or sprinkle of the silver glitter before I heat set it when it was still wet, and that allowed it to kind of stay on there. I could have done that this time too, I just simply forgot, again, because I forgot it on the original too. So this is now all set. So I'm going to actually just apply one little strip of tape here on this red banner that I cut out, and I'm going to actually apply that on top of here. And then I did take the same ink, the garden green. Where did I put that? Seriously, I just had it. Oh, there it is. How is it possible that these things go missing on my desk 2 seconds after I used them? And I did stamp this off. I wanted it to be a little bit lighter. Whoops, sorry. So, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp that. I kind of missed a little bit. Whoops, I used both sides already. Let's do this because it's a little saying. We'll put it on the other side there, like that. And then I actually just hand trimmed it with my scissors. I want a little excess on this side because I'm gonna cut a little banner end in it. Then I'm just gonna cut right alongside this. And actually I want it on this side, so I didn't actually give myself too much space, but I'll make a shallow little banner here. Like that. And like that. Sorry, making you seasick here. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of tape. Whoop. And I'll put it, come on just the side that's going to overlap, which I wanted it to kind of come out right there. Oh, and I forgot, I did take a sponge and I inked the edge of this. It's a little tricky after you've taped this down, but this is real life crafting, people. This is me when I'm messing up. There is no mistakes in crafting, right? We all know this. You can fix anything. So I'll just do that and then go around. There we go. Let's get this ink pad out of the way. Then we have some dimension for the back. Put some of those on the back. Now I'm not sure that my base is dry yet. It does dry pretty quickly, but particularly when it's thin. Let's see. Actually, it's not bad. It would, if I pushed into it, it would have fingerprints, but I think I can go ahead and just lay this on. I'll still set it aside to dry for a bit longer. I really wanted to put some gold metallic thread underneath here. I had silver, but I think the gold would look so much better, and I didn't have any, so that was my only bummer. But as you can see, there's the finished card again, the 1 and the 2. So it just adds a little bit of depth. See how you can kind of see that? And then you've got some color in there. So it's just really a fun product to play with. And then this is the one with the glitter from last week. So super fun. I hope you enjoyed that. And it's a really fun, how many times can I say fun tonight? It's a really cute and easy way to add a little bit of depth and dimension, and the embossing paste is a great value for lots of different techniques. So that is it for today. I will see you again next week. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to share it with your friends and subscribe to my YouTube channel at By the Shore Stamping. Have a great week.